Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's our topic is spin orbital coupling and significance of G-tensor. As the term G-tensor is related to ESR spectroscopy, so I have already made a video about the principle of ESR spectroscopy, so you can watch it and by which you can understand the topic more easily. Firstly, what is spin orbital coupling? As an electron possesses two types of motion, spin about its own axis and orbital motion. So generally the ESR spectra of transition metal complexes get more complicated because its spin angular momentum coupled with the orbital angular momentum, and by this we get a resultant angular momentum, and this is known as spin orbital coupling. Now G-tensor is equivalent to the chemical shift in NMR spectroscopy because both of these are scalar factors. G-tensor and G factor both are the same terms. So now we will start our topic with the spin orbital coupling. The spin orbital coupling is also known as LS coupling or Russell-Saunders coupling. In this type of coupling, individual orbital angular momentum couple to give a resultant angular momentum, and it is represented by L. Similarly, individual spin momentum also coupled to give a resultant spin momentum, and this is represented by S. What does this mean? It means if there is more than one electron or more than one unpaired electron, then their individual orbital angular momentum coupled to give a resultant angular momentum, and their individual spin angular momentum also coupled to give the resultant spin angular momentum, which is represented by the capital S. Now the S and L value will determine the total angular momentum, which is represented by J, and the value of J extends from L plus S to L minus S. There are certain rules to determine the term symbols. If we want to determine the total spin angular momentum, then it will extend from S1 plus S2 to S1 minus S2. Now this S term depends on the number of unpaired electrons. The multiplicity can be calculated by the formula 2s plus 1, and what's the multiplicity of the state is you can easily see it in the given table. Now we will discuss about the rule for determining the resultant angular orbital angular momentum. It is also extend from L1 plus L2 to L1 minus L2. We can easily explain it by taking an example of D2 system. For D2 system, there is two unpaired electron, and these two unpaired electron will take the orbital second. So L1 and L2 has the value 2. By these two values we get 4 energy states. We get 5 energy states extend from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and their values are S, P, D and G corresponding to value of L is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. After determining the L value and S value, we can easily calculate the value of J. The J represents the total angular momentum quantum number. The value of J also extends from L plus S to L minus S. With the help of this J, we can write a term symbol. The term symbol represent as 2s plus 1 L and J. Here 2s plus 1 is the spin multiplicity, J is the total angular momentum quantum number, and L is the resultant orbital angular momentum quantum number. We can explain this or we can simplify this by taking an example of D1 system. For D1 system, there is only one unpaired electron, so value of unpaired electron is 1. For this unpaired electron, the value of spin angular momentum quantum number S is equals to half, and by this we can calculate the value of spin multiplicity by applying the formula 2s plus 1. We will get the value as 2. The value of L is 2, so that's it represented by capital D. The value of J, as we discussed earlier, that the value of J extend from L plus S to L minus S, so we get two values of J that are 5 by 2 and 3 by 2. So the terms possible for this D1 system are 2D 5 by 2, 2D 3 by 2. So what is the term for the ground state? It is determined by the Hund's rule. So the Hund's rule states that for less than half wave system, less the value of J, less the energy. For the more than half-filled system, more the value of J, less the energy. As we know that D1 system is less than half-filled, so ground state term is with J is equals to 3 by 2, and we can write down the ground state term as 2D 3 by 2. I hope this topic is clear to you now. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. We will discuss the significance of G tensor in our next video. I will provide you the PPT in the description box. Until then, thank you so much for watching my video.